He just spawned playing.
Yeah, he spawned. It probably was like one of those
Hasn't
things
aged
that's
a
like...
day.
It probably was like
Ever.
1 or 2 tiers before Watch, I would imagine. But I mean, they've known each other for a long time. That's like 15 years you're looking at.
And then you have Frago, who was in Paragon.
Yeah, Frago. Paragon, I can't remember. I don't know when he started there. Like, I know he was there from the end, and I think he was there during like Black Hand and stuff as well. Because I think he tanked.
Frago just does it all. He's
he
Org, DPS, heal.
I remember when they disbanded, and there was like a definite thing that's like, that guy's insane. You should get him. Like, everyone kind of loved Frago, but I think he kind of just quit, and then he came back to Shadowlands. I think, yeah, it was
Break.
at that point.
Understandable.
Yeah.
You know, playing at this level is must be extremely taxing.
I mean, it is like, oh my god.
I mean, you only went through a little portion of the prep that goes into it. That's overplayed.
Wait, I'm bored. Like, I should tell you enough about the stress here. I mean, I used to have a lot of hair. Like, it was there. It was really, really nice. But I mean, here it goes really, really well. But like on the back of the head, it wasn't great. But like, yeah, I mean, it's stressful. And then the higher up you go, the more stressful it gets. Because when you're just like a radar, or you're just you don't take it. Kind of have this yeah. But as an officer, you're just so busy with everyone else. It's like you're doing your own thing, just like everybody else. But then you're also like, you need any help? Okay, you need this. Then you do it correctly. And you're like, not just playing your own 20 characters, you're playing your own 20 characters. You're like, not micromanaging because obviously not trust everyone, but like, keep an eye out, you know, on everything else, and everybody, and answering questions that might be needed, and it just gets really stressful.
Just wait.
Yeah, but
Feel whether you're doing something or not. It's just
yeah, exactly. 300. And then sometimes decisions have to be made. Like this game is like a really good example where it's like, so this is the tuning. Or how many Chimera spits are we got? 1, 2, 3. How do you decide that? Right? Because if you say you go to 3. And let's say some players might be skeptical and it doesn't work out.
I'll look for waiting.
That's not ideal, right? Like you want to train players to trust you 100%. And on the other hand, obviously, like if there's something the players have given and offered, right? It's very given, but you make the decision. Just with anything in life, whenever you make a decision, there will always be people that could have made another decision, and that gives you some, you know, makes them judge a little bit to a degree, and those decisions are stressful because you're inevitably going to make a decision that's going to make a difference.
yeah, and
I think.
Well, yeah, also the decisions are going to be even more impactful for this race in particular because, again, coming back to the 3 different raids, do you split Chimeras, do you split Void Spire? Like, there are so many different timelines that you've been through with Alex's presentation today, in the pre-show yesterday. There's so many different kind of really with this raid tier that these decisions are going to be extremely impactful.
Yeah, and I mean, you're also lucky that you have I mean, try to so it's like you even still have to get you don't really see here that much from her anymore, but he's still hard to work, he's still massive backbone to the entire board, all of these crazy things that you're ongoing. And it's like, that guy also has been lost that many years. There's so much more. This is like, his cards did not be complicated.
Yeah, what's really nice is that you have these kind of long-term race war first competitors, and then they still compete, or they still kind of participate in the race war first, but they kind of move towards the analyst or like back-end role.
Exactly.
They're still very heavily involved in the race. They're just not actively playing. But they do so much behind the scenes that it can really, you know, be integral to securing the win. We've seen, especially from the Amsterdam tier, Echo, in terms of the back end, in terms of who's juggling the splits, who's organising blue, and the way that they've delegated everything, and the way that they've really kind of discussed even kind of the better schedule in terms of sleep and all of the things that they implemented. It's such a
sort of thing to remember it's something. This is the case of any 6 or 7 no kingdom, right? Like it's
Hold my beer.
It is.
Salvador is going to come back as the
he might
resurrected king next tier.
Yeah, okay, he might be around forever. But like, when we look at the raceable first, we've had like it started all the way back like in the hill and being dominant, and then going in, and then never had like every dominance with like anti-capitalism with like Mr. Daria and like wars from then on. And then we had like some time frame where like it was sources, and then like all this happened, and then we had like Echo suddenly taking over like everything, like now it's still new expansion, and now we're back, and like sometimes you just think, holy shit, like how do you need things, and sometimes you just kind of like rise completely the most happy you can be, that's you just dominate.
Yeah, and it was really interesting to watch Liquid and Echo last expansion. They were so close.
Yeah.
Even the Fractier, the final raid of Dragon. I keep wanting to say Dragonlands. Alex has done this to me.
What did he do?
Dragon.
You mean Dragonfly?
Yeah, Dragonfly, but Alex called it Dragonlands, and now that it's just stuck in my brain. Dragonlands.
Is it like
Alex will be like, don't blame me.
Is it like Icelands or Dragonflies, or like where does this come? Okay, he just said
heroically. No, it was not. Anyway.
Okay, continue. Sorry.
So, the final raid of Dragonfly.
Yeah.
That was such a compelling raid here because we were seeing the guild so close, like battle it out, and it was really kind of great to see that, even in the last expansion that we were within, tier by tier. Maybe not so much the answer tier, Liquid were very much ahead of Echo that tier, but coming back into the Liberation of Undermine, Galliot's tier, the guilds were kind of like just absolutely blazing betrayal for that tier. Sadly, didn't get the Galliot's kill. Liquid also playing out of their minds, but seeing that back and forth is just fantastic. And we saw that on the Nexus. Echo had those 0.3% fights. They were so close. They had those 2 fights, which I think Alex was saying was like an earth shot. It was so close to dying, and then they didn't quite get it, and then Liquid got it, and it was just so close, and that's what makes the race so exciting.
That was a lot of fun, and it can only, like, it's just a problem that I think
that was an excellent race here.
My lord, was that close.
Could have gone either way, any pull.
Yeah, those are definitely like the best ones. Kind of makes me, what is your favorite before you cast it, if you paid attention to the race at that point, and while casting? What were your favorites?
Ooh. So while casting, probably easier one to do that first. I really enjoyed Sepulchre. No, I'm kidding. That was my first casting raid here.
Okay, like
I really had fun.
Jordan, I loved Sepulchre, okay? Like, if I had to take, like, one of the best tiers of all time that I enjoyed, it would be Sepulchre.
It was great, because you had Anduin, which was kind of tuned to be an end boss. You had the Lords of Dread and Ryglon, which were kind of epic in terms of, like, a Kaiveza Brood Twister kind of way, where they were really, really meaty bosses. And then you had the Jailer after all of that. It was a very long raid tier. I did really enjoy casting that one. Again, a little bit biased because that was my first ever casting raid tier.
Okay.
In terms of before the race,
let's follow the trail below. Grab anything you can find, but survivors take priority.
Jaina is just screaming at me for some reason. I don't know why.
I accept Jaina as an answer. Okay, that was a fun tier to watch.
That was a fun tier to watch, for sure.
That's fine. That's great. I think for me, this is hard. So I think I will do one that I actually played, and then one that I like. Play-wise, I don't think I had more fun in the tier, like juggling the bombs with Corella on Olympus was fantastic. Going
I'll be over here.
Bosses.
So you loved playing Colossus?
Yeah. Like, people will be like, oh, the tier was so long. I'm like, so, like, when I'm done with progress, I'm playing games anyway.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't really change much for me, right? Like, I'm a game of theory. Like, that does not change for me. How much video games. Maybe how mandatory it is, for sure. But, like, I play it anyway. You know what I mean?
I'd still be here.
Yeah, exactly. So like Sepulchre for me, perfect, great, and a great time. Not a great fun. Great shooting. Dragonlord, I love this that was up there. I really enjoyed the game as well. Analyzing, I think it was really, really fun. Like, it became, you know, sort of a bit spicy. You know, my guild was kind of banned at that point, you know, back in the days that the guild I was with. At least that was method. We got a bit banned. The entire roster was a bit unfortunate.
Oh.
We were like, you know, sipping a cocktail on the beach, while everyone already did the
Yeah,
splits.
just on a forced vacation.
Yeah, forced vacation, exactly. Happens, you know what I mean? Might have been my fault, might have not. It was, but that's okay. But then, you know, we still had a good split plan. We kind of just went
We can
nice.
begin.
Open X was fun, some comp chases, some differences. Nexus Princess fantastic. Silver Sword was solid boss. And then I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, you know what's so funny with Anthrax? I always remember on Heroic, for example, how difficult Anthrax even was on Heroic.
Oh, yes.
Those Heroic splits were looked like a nightmare.
It was pain. Like, that was definitely one of the harder Heroic end bosses that we splitted.
There was just
everyone
so
split
much
us
that
rather.
could go wrong.
Yeah, like you would have to do two stages of DPS. And then you have to also make sure you go. And then you did need a good split of DPS speed for each of these missions. You obviously need to make sure you can do kicks and like and then the last stage was like a relatively tight mission anyway, where most of the mechanics really kill you. And then like, you know, if you spawn a spider, you just reach the boss and it was definitely just a hard boss. It was like lengthy, kind of challenging, even in heroic, and it was just a hard DPS set, and it's relatively
Yeah, because even in phase 1, you have the flashbang.
flashbang.
Well, this is to make sure that everyone's awake to go into the final boss. You
Yeah,
know, you just
there's
have to
no-
check, awake check, blockage. Alright, we're locked in.
There's no sleep down with secret left there. Like, if Skype was you were watching that POV, they would be ready.
Yeah, they had their nap. They're having a little nap during heroic week. It was so cozy.
They were both
Very
so
cute.
they were both so tired. They woke up. They looked like a tired day. And then Skype was just like, you know what? It's nap time. Just went down. And then Roger just like walked in, and it was like, I'm digging that. Like, he didn't even
That's
go
a vibe.
there with like, oh, I'm gonna go nap. He just looked at Sky and was like, yeah, that works. And he just went to go lay down, kind of next to him to a degree, and just went for it. And then we had two of the officers just having a cruisable.
Just the naps kind of spreading
Yeah,
throughout
exactly.
the venue.
Because like you could see like the Raiders generals is like we're sitting here like sweating our ass off with all the splits, and they're just like, can we do that? Can we join?
So peaceful.
Marcus even was like, yeah, we should have like a guild-wide nap session.
Oh,
Just so
getting big blankies. So
all of
good.
them would be so cute.
Going up to the Alright, time for excellent splits, lads. Time for a nap break.
Yes. It would be so
Adorable.
I do love it, like, from Heroic. Like, everyone's got a great job with the sleep schedules. Like, I feel like Raiders actually are getting enough sleep. Like, it's probably the hardest thing, is the biggest difference between Heroic Week and Heroic Week splits you get. Because when it's Heroic Week splits, it's like, or non-Heroic Week splits rather, it's like, incredible. Every hour that you say you do this splits is living progress. And we like living progress. We love it. Whereas when you have a Heroic Week, it's like, this was an adult time. Fantastic. I hate it. You know? It's like,
Yeah, it's much more chilled. You're not on a timer to get into the thing.
so that's definitely good. But I do think right now the boys are feeling adrenaline. You know, now you've got kind of back to back on so they're getting a nice useful in here. I think they've done 4 now, roughly.
I think, yeah,
I think
could
that's
very much be right, yeah.
So one
Lucky
for the
number
radar.
5. Yeah.
Oh,
They're getting through them very quickly. Again, you can kind of see the gear changes immediately with just how quickly area is dying compared to how quickly it is slowly, but they were very much meeting that end rage very early on, as to be expected, right? We don't have a whole last tier's worth of this gear. We're coming fresh from leveling. I get sus and like a little bit pillow again?
No,
Or am I being
mission
set
clearly.
up?
And obviously, you know, as Mr. Shaman from Genderman over himself, we have little Stoke on the Ellie Shaman.
Yeah, he's
which
actually
did get buffed.
blasting.
Yeah, it's looking actually pretty good. So, I have this like little mini game that I play, and I don't know if you pay attention to this, but I really like watching those HP pools. Whenever I look at a UI like this, so I can see he's like 399k HP, which is obviously almost performing, which means he has good team. Like I saw learning item level by the amount of HP in there, which is a little bit weird. This is probably a good stove character, so I'm kind of excited to see how it lasts.
Yeah, I think on some of the splits he's actually topping in the heroic runs or the full voice by clears before Illyria. I haven't paid too much attention since then.
Yeah, well, we have to pay good attention because Stripe this morning said Ellie still does not matter. And I disagree wholeheartedly. I told him that he was wrong, and he just looked at me really sus. Well, I mean, they do need a winner theory. It's just like he said, like all three of them kind of suck, and I'm like, I think Ellie is great. Look at him go! Get him!
There you go. Yeah, you show him Stove.
You show him stuff. Exactly.
All that padding on the void droplet.
Send Scribe straight back to sleep. Let him dream about his second.
Archers is like, no.
Okay, production just said that phase 1 is padding, but you can clearly see
Yes,
he's casting lava bursts.
Still
Okay,
damage.
he's casting his K-Light.
All damage matters. I will not gatekeep my Illyria run production.
Yeah, so Ellie has this thing that's
They
called
need to
funnel,
die.
which is meaning that your AoE actually gives you single target DPS. So he's utilizing the single target damage.
Right.
The Shadow Priest is bad, trust me.
Yeah.
So they have
You know who isn't padding? The Frost Mages. I can't help my natural cleave. We just do it all.
Yeah, well, I mean, so don't padding. Like I bet you the boom game right there is so fun.
Yep, pad.
Yeah, and
Sus. There you go. Oh, he's blasting.
it's definitely my second. If I could have been Ellie Shaman, I would be better.
Would you?
Yeah.
No. See, I'm so weird in games. I always have like one character.
Yeah.
And I kind of specialize, really.
That's fair.
Like even when I play League, I'll have only a couple of like I'll have like one champion that I play, like a mid lane, or I'll have like a couple of
Are you
champions.
one of those?
Yeah, I am one of those. I'm very much a one trick, so I only have the one character in World of Warcraft. If I do have an ult, it is also a mage.
What's wrong with you?
What's right with me is the question, Kana.
Okay,
Clearly, look, if you play the superior class, you don't need to
Yeah, but then why do you get a second one?
Because it's that good.
But why would you just play the one?
I do. The ult is a scam.
Okay, fair. That is crazy though. That is crazy.
Well, because when I first started playing, well, not even when I first started playing, I actually really enjoy progress. So when I would clear Mythic for the tier, I'd still want to raid.
Yeah.
So I made my ult I didn't connect it to my main, it was completely separate. And I joined like a lower guild to just kind of, this is going to sound really sad, to like make
Elitist
friends
them.
and progress with them.
Make friends.
Yeah.
You just.
I'd have
I'm
my ult,
sure.
which wasn't connected to my main. I wouldn't
Yeah.
say anything, and I'd just sit and make friends and progress like the raid again, just because I really enjoy that
Yeah,
aspect. I love raiding. So.
I bet you would sit there chatting and shit.
No, I wouldn't.
How could you
No.
not do this?
Because you can be non-toxic. It is possible.
I don't believe it.
No, if they weren't, I didn't care because I just enjoyed it. There was sometimes when you kind of go into guilds like that, there can sometimes be that one DPSer who is like the big fish in the small pond. Sometimes you have to bite your tongue because they have this really bad attitude and be mean to people. You really want to humble them a bit, but then at the same time it's like, no. It's just nice to just chill on an ult and just progress and enjoy the game. You've already cleared the tier. You're kind of in retirement for the rest of the tier. It was really chill, really nice. I still play to this day with a lot of the people that were in my ult guild, but they didn't know it was an ult.
Fair.
Imagine making friends in an MMO and spending time with people.
I haven't been in many guilds. So I have been in a total of. Okay, if we have to talk about guilds I've been in longer than a month, it would be.
Oh no.
two.
Oh, there you go.
Well, pretty technical.
So, it's a little bit of a commitment. though. With the
I mean, okay, like when I say like there's been like okay, realistically I've been in like 3 guilds because I was in my own or joined a guild, and then from that guild were my own guild was like a guild. So like they were still the same people, so still kind of considered the same. And then after that I joined a healer, but I only was there for like 2 weeks. Like this is like 5 minutes like or 5 minutes by the way. So I joined them for like 2 weeks, and then after that is where my original first started in the Legion method. And then those were the guilds. That's only 3 guilds I ever really played.
Ah, what was your first raid tier, sorry?
Emerald Nightmare.
Didn't have enough shadow priest.
No, it just got cleared by exhaustion in less than 24 hours. Now, I don't think there was much that we could do.
No, that was
we were,
a little bit of a Gallywix incident where it felt much quicker than was expected.
There were like, you could say that, but I think if we actually, like, okay, a lot of things went wrong. So it's like, it's a kind of fight here, because like there was the Ilganok, the eyeball boss, and then when you
obliterated by the shadow priest.
Yeah, so like we didn't do that. We played the full fight normally. It was actually a hard fight. Like, we had a lot of souls, a lot of assignments. Like it was not easy. And then we watched the kill video because obviously things didn't get streamed back then, it was so different. You would then see them and you would be like, they just poked in and killed the eyeball with one blow. We just did like the hardest tactic ever and they just killed it. And we're like, well, that sucks. And then we watched scenarios, which was probably the hardest one of that tier. And like the hardest part of the tier was of the fight was the Spawner Dragons, and when they get to 50% on the road, then we do this pulse and AoE damage. There was just so much damage, right? It was so hard. And then eventually we saw a tactic, which I think was Serenity at that point, and it's just like, they just tanked them in the corner, because apparently the AoE was just like 40 yards, and everyone else was on the other side of the corner, and they just didn't get hit. And we're sitting there like, oh, okay, so they also skipped that hardest part. So we just played like 2 of the harder bosses on the hardest difficulty, and it's completely actually it's not even my fault. It was Scribe's fault. It was his first tier.
Fired.
Yeah, it was his first tier. But he, he was the leader man, so I blame him. And then yeah, we kind of just lost that because both those bosses almost too hungry, and then we didn't pull scenarios or saviors, and the saviors just end up just being like a quick little 10-tap.
Yeah, because Ignis went in kind of to get information, right?
Yeah,
as the guilds do. They kind of pull the boss a couple of times just to kind of see the timers, the health, to kind of test out maybe some auras and things like that. And then it's a case of, oh, this can actually die, which it very quickly did.
Yeah, you could even, like, if you ever watch instructions, the ending is very much just like hysterical laughter, because they're not screaming, they all fully believe a single thing is going to happen. Like, this fight is so easy. When this boss reaches 0, now he's gonna lay eggs, and then much closer than a fight, and we're gonna have to hit like
It's like the start of Mechator.
Yeah, exactly. Like, something like that is going to just happen. And then the boss just died, and it's like, what? And it's probably like it's sort of the funny thing. So that happened. But then we redeemed the song.
Hell yeah.
People like, yeah, hell yeah.
Sorry.
That was
pretty
good.
bad.
But like people like that was
living life on the edge there, not even close. That was calculating the pixel perfection.
I would but I guess that's guidance. But yeah, like how that was really special. Like it was still surviving.
You deserve this. No one can count on you.
Don't want people to go because that's
Do you have a nickname?
Really?
Yeah, I'll play it. No. When you see all of the prep and the characters.
But it is like I had that feeling last year during that metaphors because I didn't do that.
This was so long. Get out of here. Go. You heard me. Out.
I'm glad we could be here for her. Losing someone.
Your perspective. I think any kind of ex-competitor in the Race to World First is always a very interesting perspective and insight as we're going through. But you can see Scribe with his 6 Ace of Predator monitors. He is very much getting full use out of them as well.
If we
I
can
don't
go
know
to
if we
the
can go to the
room.
to have a little glance
You're
at his
carrying some kind of
setup.
natural energy.
But he does have
I
the
can't determine its
6
origin,
monitors.
but it feels
There you go, the 6
warm.
Ace of Predator
You can see the
monitors.
little hands like
Could be
in
enough to
between, like
protect you from the ice
screens.
trap.
Yeah, like right in the middle. You can see the
Yeah.
writing on the back of the monitors just to show them.
Exactly, but yeah, huge shout out to Ace for that one. Actually, just
I'm picking up a
sleeping, like, we do
massive
have to
Elder
do this.
Dragon energy
We're
signature.
getting a
It's
single
not one of
best
those like element
things.
sensor for that.
500 the best that you can. And then Prime takes all 6 of them to look at spreadsheets and
Even I could barely hear her now in
make sure
the
you
dark.
Ace in the chat. Check them out. And there is a huge
There's a high concentration
20%
magic
discount
going here.
on these
It looks like the only way through is...
So huge shout out.
Honestly, we'll have to sacrifice that protected energy. That'll leave you vulnerable, so
Do check them out again.
My fire frightens my iceberg.
this fractal should represent a real place, but
monitoring
it's not
everything
quite
that's going on
right.
with all of his spreadsheets
Incomplete,
across
or
the 6
half a member.
and
That's it.
keeping
There's a
updated,
full couple of someone here, and this is their
involved in
perspective.
that planning process because they are going to be
This
busy.
is
He
their
is
role. So try to let them speak clearly. We might get some contact clues.
excited because if you are just tuning in, I believe we are quite way through our reset worth of splits. We are rapidly going through Illyria. We've done a lot of the Void Spire splits, the previous bosses up to now. So hopefully we might be seeing some mythic time at this point. We're going to go really, really quickly. Again, chasing those final gear pieces to make sure they get every scrap of power available to them before stepping foot into Mythic. The item level will be super important to get stamina so they survive with causing damage and goes out, and a lot of these fights are very gear intensive. But also making sure they have as much damage as possible, because we have seen some of the guilds who are not necessarily competing for Race Squad first on the here going straight into Mythic still struggle because the bosses are quite easy. They have some bite to them, and they not only are quite serious healing checks, but Nerf managed to get some races down. But the melee mechanics with them and some other elements as well, it's quite tight DPS check from just the first hero. Here, even Chimeras, who was watching the green mechanics going through Chimeras, they get as reaching Chimeras. It was like very hectic. So anything the Echo can get now, and Liquid as well, and of course Method, that will save those wipes and that time, because they will have that extra damage to make sure they're not losing time wiping because they couldn't feel like adding time. We may still see that, that's still part of the progression. But not as much had they not had that extra gear to make sure that they die even quicker.
It is just refreshing to see the early bosses being this well tuned.
I understand your rage, your fear. I've warned my own family.
They all have like one thing in common, which is
My
just
brother.
healing checks and DPS checks on particular bases, and I just go like that is just like mechanically they are the ones like incredibly stood out as like, oh my god, how do we figure this out? Like really utilize those 6 monitors that Scribe has with like 8 spreadsheets and 7 replays to like figure all of those out. Like it's relatively straightforward how to do it. You just need like muscle memory and
Bring your people to me instead of driving them away.
like, you know what I mean? It's like you can go sit there and
We can build a world without hosts, without greed.
all of these shenanigans. When you have to do it anyway,
Or
it's like you
know
already
that
fucked up.
peace is also
Or getting a second reset. Regardless, because 7 bosses available now, we need to get 9 out of 9, right? Logical is still releasing next week. It's not out yet. it actually
Hey, are you still with me?
normal to go and different how to go with that particular raid, which is not available yet. So when you know you're gonna reach the reset anyway, there's no way that you can get this so fast what we had in the past where liquid, which hasn't happened in a long time anyway, but it's always a possibility.
You don't know what something we're watching. Keep her name off
If you know
your
you can't
lying
get a
tongue.
conclusion, you might as well just get the show back. And like we can see the ad level from those that is 263. As you mentioned, they basically just get safe. Why is the surgery in this go through with 267?
Yeah, you don't want to be necessarily in a position where you're fighting for Orpheus and you reach the end range and you're just lacking that percentage because, and then you have to kind of go away and then upgrade to get, you might as well go in, have that extra 3% and then just kill it on the first run. If it is a one-pull.
It might be. Is it worth it?
Yes, it is. Yep.
That's actually
Yeah,
cool.
I like seeing that, especially when Dark Cornwell pops up on his Diagnostic Guild as well.
I almost just like it. Like, it's so fun at this point. Then it's like some. If I had to go play the game, I wanted to play. I would want to play one of those guilds where it's just like. It's like we also know now that like meta mechanics mini builds there now. We're now doing like analyst work for Echo as well. Defensive Invader. Analyst there now. And minimum fact, I would just like to actually go to different bosses. You know what I mean? Like actually I just want to go explore them. It's so fun to actually explore different bosses. I would love to go back to
Yeah, and there's also a lot of these guilds, they are made up of extra well-known players that still play at that level, right? You're still blasting, you're still an amazing player, but all of the kind of tedious stuff that comes with competing in the Race to World First, having all of the characters, all of the splits, they don't necessarily want to do all of that, so they end up joining and forming a guild where you've got all of these insanely good players, but you don't have all the day raiding, for example, because I think instant dollars are largely ex-Race World First players, but they don't day raid, so it's kind of not having that same time commitment that the race takes, but you still see them very high up early on, especially because they're still really, really good players.
Yeah,
so it's always fun seeing their names pop up early on.
it is really like once you've played at this level, because I tried this actually.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, we had a great time. It was called Infinite. A lot of lovely people there had a great time. It's just, God, there's a difference rating at between the levels. Like, for me, for example, when I'm doing this, it's very much like I want to have a plan of motion. If 3% is good, we can kill the boss. That's what we do. You know what I mean? Because everything is there, with all the information. You can go in and be like, you know what I mean? Like, we can assign everything with.
It's not necessarily blind.
Yeah. And it doesn't always correlate with everyone. Like, you know, people at the level still just like to kind of go and pull from the occasion. And it was a bit of a conflict. Because, like, you know, we would wipe for, like, let's see that second mission where you, like, using ads so we can't go into the middle. And the ads broke out. And they're like, oh, okay. Full timer. And I was like, like, you know, like, who broke the ads? You know, like, what happened, guys? You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, there's no flame. Like, just, you know it, right? It's like,
so then everyone goes quiet.
yeah, exactly. It's like
There's no reason, and then you have to go through the logs and then find the culprit.
Exactly.
It
It's
just
like,
takes so much time.
it's just like cricket time, and I was like, guys, it doesn't matter. Right? Like,
Doesn't matter if he says,
exactly. So then nobody said it anyway. I'm like, let's go take a look, and just really quickly, you know, like we have this blue thing called logs. And then we noticed it was like a certain decay, and it's like, oh, I had no idea. I can't press this button. It's like, nope, you can't press button. And then we fixed it, you know? It's like, that is such a difference, because we would have just gone back.
So close to freedom.
That's what being part of a team and synergy can be all about.
Yeah, like when I raided it, I go like, I mean, I'm raiding with JB. We all love watching JB like get knocked off the platform or Vesagap. Like, it's like one of the favorite things. And like, there's just the occasional pull that you just realize like, why am I not getting healing? And you look at your frames and you know that JB is dead. And it's like, JB, did you fall off the platform again? It's like, yes. You know, it's like, those happen. You know, it's like so you're there to take the fun out. And you know, to make fun of that and enjoy the moment with each other. Like that's what raiding is about. Right? Just having a good time. But there's still like, for me, there needs to be a sense. It's like, in like the first intermission, we would like do one of the ads before the tank is cast, which was hard to deal with. And sometimes we didn't make the DPS check, and I'm like, so what happened here? It's like, you didn't grief torch. Why did you not grief torch? Oh, you forgot. Can I make you like a quick like reminder or like a week or and like that isn't flame, you know. That's just like progress. Like that's the fun of progress. It's like I will have. So I had this on Jaina. On Jaina, when we went to the last phase, there was this debuff that's like you pulse, and that whenever you pulse, if you hit one of your allies, you actually give like one of the permanent stacking debuffs in that phase to the people you pulse. And we were doing a good tactic, so giving permanent stacks to people was a good. And at that point, you know, I can look at 3 places. I can look at my boss frames, my enemy health bar frames, like a plater, or at my player frame, right? Those were the 3 places I could look. And I did not want to miss this debuff, because that would be bad. So I made 3 weak auras, and I made them big, and I put them at the 3 places where I could be. And when you look at my POV on that one, you'll be like, why does this guy track this debuff 3 times and what a moron? But I just didn't want to miss it, and it doesn't have to look pretty. Can. So that's gonna be interesting. It's like helping each other with like tech like that and like, you know, helping each other like, get set up. It's important. That's really fun.
Well, that's actually I've seen quite a lot in PvP. Is PvP where they have their cooldowns on multiple parts of their action bar just to make sure that they really do see that something is off cooldown. I think because in AWC you can't have there's some restrictions in place or something like that, which is why they have it kind of multiple times on their action bar. Not that I would know much about PvP.
No, me neither. I'm horrendous.
No, me too. My experience in PvP has been previous expansions where you would have had really, really good gear. So you used to have this, I think it was called the Badge of Valor, which was really, really good for burst damage profile specs. So it was really good for Fire Mage, for example, in BFA.
Oh, yeah, doing BFA.
Yeah, so you'd have the double on use trinket, you'd have the correspondent power, and then you'd also have the badge. But you needed to do PvP to get that trinket, and then depending on your rating, you'd get it higher and higher. And I would have to do PvP a lot, and I was terrible at it. But also, notoriously, they were just focused. I'd go into 3s, we'd have a healer, and then the other DPS would be a warlock. The warlock would just freely cast, freely do damage. Meanwhile, I'm being stunned, interrupted, squeezed. Like, I couldn't do anything. I was raging. I hate PvP. I hate PvP because I don't know enough about it. So I'm that kind of player that it feels really unbalanced and broken because I don't understand what's happening.
Yeah, I feel you. My history with PvP is I spec Vesto and then I fight this guy who's the Picmax and he's like a rank 1 survival hunter and he carries me. That's my history in PvP.
So there you go.
Appreciate it. But that's like also the beginning. Which we actually saw back a little bit this tier again, because we were able to get like some extra requests. A certain amount of like rating or something.
Yeah, it was also the first week of Heroic, so usually every raid tier you get a meta achievement which will give you a tier piece.
Yeah, of course.
So in the first Heroic week, it was either you get Head of the Curve, which is defeating the raid on Heroic. That's traditionally the achievement that you get. However, I believe for this tier, you don't get to complete the achievement with the Head of the Curve until March of Hellsman. So you don't get that until the next reset. So you can get that week 1 of Heroic. With Chimeras raid. Or you had to get something Mythic Plus rating, and of course Mythic Plus did not release until Mythic was released, which is this reset, so last week we couldn't do that either. So the only way to complete this achievement last week was to get 1600 rating in PvP. Obviously wasn't necessary. Mythic Plus has released now. Now you can go and get that 2k and complete that achievement to get that tier piece. But yeah, so that's kind of. But there was also a few other things in PvP in there where very, very early on you could get your second embellishment by getting a gear piece that was crafted that didn't necessarily take press, but you could still put stats on it. It was very low item level, but
the big thing is if you made it like your potential bases or your subbuild, and then you have like a 2 4 6 item with less stats and the subbuild, like it's pretty damn good. It was practically free to craft, and then your second embellishment, like you mentioned. So we saw, I think, Up do that earlier, where he's just doing a couple of arenas.
The consequences of your actions can be catastrophic.
Which is just a quest anyone can pick up, by the way. So he's thinking like, oh, that sounds great. Or do I get this? It's a quest you can get in Silvermoon somewhere. That's probably at the beginning of the time. You just have to do some
You're in time.
you can also get a ring with this, so you can get a ring. Overall good, check it out. Pretty good to get done if
or you know, if you're a good chat player and you're a PvE gamer, then you don't need to worry.
yeah,
I really tried.
would have done it back in my days.
Stop.
Not doing it right now. I
your
went
actions.
straight into M plus and almost
Harness the
2k.
chaos of
Oh,
interminable space-time.
already?
Almost.
Wow, okay, gaming. I was, great in the orb there, but that's fine.
This one's so weird. It's like you have like,
Your time ends
normally you have like kind of a high problem, but this is just like,
Like multiple
Projectional
walls, you can see
defense
them
vaccine
when they
is
go out
online.
they actually have the walls of walls you can see, but they also have the fragments of walls kind of off you for them. That is a little bit of RNG, or not on your
I haven't
side
seen it
there.
before.
That was
That's
a
pretty good.
little bit rough.
yeah. But here they go into the lost
Hopefully you
days.
don't necessarily see that on Mythic, where you just have some really cursed orb spawns, and it completely throws the pull.
Did you ever do Turn of Thunder?
No, I didn't. That was
No,
before my
okay.
time.
I forgot the boss name, but Chet will probably remember. Maybe production can help me. It's the big eyeball in the middle. So basically he has a mechanic where you can do like a death beam in the middle, or like behind the raid, and there's a lot of fog, and you can't really see where you go unless you like hug the end of it, and you kind of have like half the way through. Durable, yes. Thank you. This is like such a funny mechanic because it was really like I would love it to be this intermission where it's like you can't really see where you're gonna go. There's like kind of like landmines, like landmines around the area, and they kind of just have to like slowly navigate their way through, but they're still getting chased by the wall.
Yeah,
It
so
wouldn't
it
end
was
much
kind of.
difficulty, but it would just look really good.
Oh yeah, I just hope that that is not a thing. Really, I think. I mean, they navigated it fine, but I'm sure you can get some really cursed combinations.
Oh, it's probably like relatively like laid out to a degree. Like you can't get like a combination like that, but it would just be there would just be like a lot of like little lands.
Again, it's one of those things that's great as a viewer, not as much as a player, and we can enjoy it.
They're fine.
Oh, they're fine.
Yeah.
They need a challenge.
You heard JB here earlier. He was a quick player, and I don't want to do it. Like me and JB are complete opposite of it. It's gonna be so hilarious.
Yeah, I always love that because we obviously went through our casting predictions when we did our opening show yesterday, and we had some opinions, which was really fun. You know, depending on which boss, for example, the kind of early boss was really difficult to fight that's unexpected, how many cooltowns he possibly take. Alright, fine.
Production, can we get a replay on the Ryzen left there?
I didn't even see Ryzen go down. donations coming in. One from Ponto Bidden. There we go, I think I nailed that. For $10. Another $10 for a lovely board. Let's go Echo. Just got these two very nice plates from my girlfriend as a birthday present. Was the 22nd of March. Well, happy belated birthday.
Happy birthday.
And remember, birthdays only on Monday. Maybe we'll tell you all about it.
Yeah, Jordan will tell you about it. Straight through your face.
Ooh!
That's the amazing.
Yeah, the Lich King display.
We have it
So
here
nice.
as well. That looks amazing.
And was it the other one was the Illidan?
The Illidan one.
Oh, epic. Oh, wow, look at
Great
that.
choices. Absolutely fantastic.
It's so beautiful, the artwork
Put it
available.
in the secret lab chair as well. Oh, man.
They are really comfy.
Oh,
I
they
love
are.
mine.
They're fantastic. They are fantastic. But that's amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so thank you for everyone who is donating so far. We have some really exciting charity incentives for you all. We have unlocked our very first one, which is the Caster Incastable, which is every caster having secret missions during their shift. Just gonna provide some shenanigans. Kano are lording over that successful secret mission.
Yep, I had to hold my little pillow above my head without Jordan noticing.
Oh, yeah, you
But
did
it's
that
great,
very well.
and I'm so excited for so many of these. It's my first time doing all of these. Like, I've always loved watching the Echo show.
Welcome.
And then a big part of watching it was just watching the charity incentives and watching you guys do the craziest thing. We had a lovely little segment on like Corella being like a spy and Alex's adventure, and for some reason they were like rapping, and you guys put your thing in beans and
yeah,
God.
there's lots that happens, but also one that we haven't really mentioned too much is the $20,000 talking points, which I think is based on a very popular game that we're going to be doing, which is provide a presentation that someone random's going to have to present, but they don't know what the presentation
Somebody
is.
makes a presentation for somebody else, and then they have to present it, and they're just like, why is that?
Just noting some of the casters on the casting team, these presentations are going to be so cursed.
They're gonna be like I found it out because like we're obviously working together with Display as we saw, and we're gonna do some custom displays as well, which is gonna be really fun. And I personally did a really wholesome one. Okay, I think when you see that, you'll be like, oh, that's a really nice idea.
Oh,
for an idea of a custom display. And then slowly but surely, obviously from like staff meetings and whatnot, I just kept hearing like, oh my god, these people are so diabolical that they had to be told, no, we cannot do that. And I am scared, okay? I don't know what to expect. And these things are just going to be the exact same. The charity incentives are going to be the exact same. So I am terrified and excited. I am terrified and I am very excited.
I love the fact that you provided a wholesome display custom image.
I thought that was the idea.
So mine was vetoed, but then I managed to get it, and then I posted another picture that was so cursed that I managed to get another one.
The way how production explains it to me is like, get something that's like nice, or like, you know, something like maybe your
Mine is
cat
nice.
or like an animal, or like, you know, maybe like a picture of like a cool trip, and I'm like, oh, I'm thinking about it, like, oh, I found something that fits. And then I hear, sorry?
So does mine.
I'm sure it will. I have no idea. I did absolutely everything in my power to not see something.
Yeah, so you're going to be just as surprised as we are seeing each other's display.
And I think we actually might be.
Yeah, I mean, also, hopefully, today is Mythic. Come on! Surely!
I still don't believe. I don't know where this propaganda started.
Alex, I just blame Alex. I'm gonna have to
I know that. I 100% know it's Alex. And I think the doctor wants to know it as well.
You know what? Medic as well.
I know everybody wants it.
And
I mean, I want it as well. I just don't. I know they're going to sit there after they are split. It's like 3 p.m. Whenever they're done. The done with split, and they'll sit there and it's like, we could do this, but I'm tired. I'm sleepy. And then Scribe Watcher is going to lay down in their chair again and take a little nap. and the rain is gonna be like, we all know it's going to happen.
Oh, you think everyone's off the split? Yeah.
It's just going to happen. I don't know. I mean, I would love to see that.
Manifest.
You may see some mythic. I mean, mythic plus. What you called it? Maybe you're summoning the dungeon. Are you quite something to try and work back? This dungeon back in the day was pure pain and suffering.
Eternally.
We did a dungeon on the floor.
Oh no!
Yeah, so that was the first boss 11. Probably it was also the big. We had 33 deaths before we killed a single attack. Okay.
Like, that was
There's these mobs. It's the first pool. It's the first freaking pool, and they target like they target like 3 people with like some rocky chains. And we go through like 2 packs of them, and they did like 50k per second. And they had like 2 people. The entire race camp was wiped out. And I don't understand. I didn't understand why the dungeon is in there, because I hated it. Until I realized Laura is in there, and now I have mind boggled that boss is there, so it's all connected from back in the day, and I don't know what to do.
It is actually really cool that the dungeon rotation kind of fits in with the story a bit. Yeah, I think it's.
I have no idea what the story is about. I have not looked at a single piece of lore.
No, I can't say that. If I remember rightly, it was that was the first time that maybe Laura and Illyria kind of fused.
She was there. That's true, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so. Oh my god, something right.
You're a lore?
I'm a lore master.
They call her George. I tried to think of a name with noble than yours.
Bobble. What? That doesn't make sense.
The most okay noble. Okay noble. There we go.
There you go. I was the okayest.
The okayest noble.
J.B. yesterday.
You're also the okayest mage.
Thank you.
The okayest mage of both.
Perfectly average.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of that.
No, but I did the dungeon and I didn't understand anything of it, and then I got to the last boss, which is obviously Lura, and then I realized Lyria is there and Lura is there. So they probably did something there. Something happened that I should know that I ignored
They
during
were
the
involved. Which makes a very big difference.
It does make a big difference. It was fantastic. Really, really happy with that. And then I realized that Alex was the guy that leveled first time normally.